What's going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds, and we're back talking about the Retroid Pocket 4 today. So if you're wondering, what do I buy? Which color do I get? Do I get the Pro or the not Pro? This is the video to watch, and we're going to be talking about everything to do up until release, after release, when things ship, what do you put on your SD card in the meantime? We got all that. We got you covered. So strap in, grab the cocoa, and let's chat. Now we're going to look at a couple different handhelds I have, and then we're going to look at the Retroid website together and see what should you order today. Do you want to get this? Do we want to get something else? And then look at accessories and DIY parts like button add-ins and all that. So you already know about the RP3 and the 3 Plus, and the more pocketable 2S, as well as the clamshell offering, the Flip. And if you've been around for a while, you might remember the 2 Plus and the 2. All of them are good options for you. But the new Retroid Pocket 4, which releases right now, when this video goes live, you may be confused, do I get the Pro model or not? Okay, let's take a look at the website. So you want to go to goretroid.com, and if you'd like to support your friend here at RH, then actually go and use the links in our description below, because those links help support us at no additional cost to you. Otherwise, go to goretroid.com here, and you're going to see that there's the Retroid Pocket 4. Launch time is going to be December 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Pacific. Now, here's something that you might want to know. You do get a free screen protector included during pre-order phase, and $4 off, which is an auto discount for the first 72 hours here. That's really nice. Now there's other handhelds here like the Metal Edition 3 Plus, you don't need that, the Flip and the 2S. And then if you navigate to handhelds here, you're going to see a few options. So here's the official grip for the 4, it's $15. Grip is really helpful, we'll talk about that in a minute, but here's the star of the show. The Retroid Pocket 4 and 4 Pro, it is $149 US, it's going to be plus shipping, so take that into account. You can either choose DHL shipping, or you can choose 4PX shipping. 4PX is going to be always cheaper, but it may take longer to arrive to you, where DHL could arrive much faster, especially depending on what country you live, but it usually a significant upcharge, so it really is up to you. I personally always go with 4PX. I'm okay waiting a little bit, and they're very reliable. Now, I assume, you've already done a little bit of research into what these handhelds are. If not, the Retroid Pocket 4 is equivalent to the Odin Lite, if you've used that handheld before, which has and both have fast processors, like I said, and GPUs. You get double the RAM in the Pro, so that's an extra $50, mind you, okay? So the Pro is going to be $199 versus the non-Pro at $149. And the Pro is going to have Android 13 and the non-Pro Android 11. Both of them are touchscreen at 60 FPS with a 720p screen, although the exact resolution is 750 by 1334 at 500 nits, and 4.7-inch screen. They both have active cooling, so that's great. It has a fan in there. Analog L2 and R2. You got 3D Hall sticks. What are those, you ask? Well, those are like joysticks that don't have any stick drift, so they're based on magnets. Magnets are awesome, and they always bring the stick back to center, so you don't have to worry about getting dust and stuff in the joysticks. Both have Bluetooth 5.2 and Wi-Fi 6, and there's going to be over-the-air updates. That means there's going to be updates coming to the handheld on Wi-Fi over time, and they'll show up as an alert. You go in, you update, there you go. Now, shipping for these, actually, that may influence your decision. The RP4 Pro starts shipping on January 15th, and the RP4 starts shipping on January 25th of 2024. So that's about a month away, and if you want to get one of these faster, I would go for the Pro. Not only for all the performance benefits, but also just to get it faster. Remember, you do get this auto discount and the free screen protector. So now you may be wondering, okay, but which colorway do I do? Well, do I have some thoughts on this? The first option is going to be 16-bit. Now, this is the classic SNES PAL colorway. You saw this in Europe growing up if you had it at Super Nintendo. That's nice, and you can always mod the buttons out. I'm not nostalgic for it, so I usually avoid this colorway myself, but we'll take a look in a second. But they do have DIY parts, so you can drop in. By the way, you go to the DIY section and click on Retroid Pocket 4 and 4 Pro ABXY buttons to find these different options. So you have black buttons, US 16-bit US SNES colorway, and then the fun colored buttons, which depending on the handheld you put on could evoke something besides 16-bit. If you live in Europe or this is the Super Nintendo you had growing up, that might be the one for you. So the black colorway, and here it is here, it's gonna look just like this, except it's gonna have a pop of color on the face buttons there. It is just a bit thicker than the 3. Next colorway up is 16-bit US. I'm very nostalgic for this. This looks just like a Super Nintendo, or if you saw AYN Odin, if you've been using that device before, that's going to look the same as that colorway option. And it evokes, you know, that North American region, Super Nintendo nostalgia. I always enjoy this one, and this most likely is the one I want to order, but it's a toss-up because I also really like the watermelon. So this one, we've seen it before in the Funtastic colorway shells for the 2 Plus, or rather the RP2, but we had the watermelon flip this year, and this appears to be a little bit darker shade, so this is kind of cloudy. Let's take a look at Real World. So here's some real world shots from Retroid of what the watermelon looks like. So that's darker. That's kind of reminiscent of the Retro Stone here. Looks like a pretty close match to the Real World. I like the blue as well, sort of that Baja blue you saw in the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. To me, it looks a bit more like the Miu Mini blue, but just a little bit more green. I'm kind of sad that they don't have the Jungle Edition green colorway, but maybe we'll see that in the future. As well as, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get the Indigo. This was a great option and one I always like to pick up. Not only this, but if you've followed any of their stuff, they've released a video showing what some of the performance is here in PS2. Well, this is running on an emulator called Aether SX2 at 2.25x native resolution. So this is running on the 4 Pro with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage, which is a great quick tangent into the fact that you can just add on a micro SD card, and they're so cheap these days. I would just go for a terabyte card like this Team Group one here. They're about $40 to $50, which is pretty crazy for a terabyte of space. That includes as much space as you really need for your ROM library of ROMs that you could play on this device. All of the games. All of the games. Another benefit people don't always talk about, transparent shells generally weigh less. It's going to be pretty small, but they do weigh a little bit less if you really want to squeeze every ounce of the pocketability and sort of on-the-go mobile feeling with these devices. I like to get the lightest weight device I possibly can, and so transparent shells generally will weigh a little bit less. Not only that, but transparent shells have this sort of grittiness to the texture on them, which I always enjoy. It's like a nice matte gritty. The regular colored shells, or the grays, or the black, usually are a little bit slippery, just slightly. Not a bad thing, but I prefer sort of that gritty, matte feeling. My hands don't sort of get sweaty and all that. But the transparent's nice. The downside of the transparent, though, is the fact that because it might weigh less, it's because the plastic's a little bit thinner. It's see-through. And so you might have some weaknesses in the plastic. It might give easier. It might smash easier if you step on it or drop it. Generally, it's not enough to keep me away from the transparent options. It's nice. You know, QA issues with Retroid have been pretty good. Except for the flip had some hinge issues on the Sport Red colorway. This one actually, it's not really hinge issue. I talked to Retroid about this, and it's just a loose hinge. So we just need to open this up and take a screwdriver, tighten it. You know how it goes. The other colorway we have is Ice Blue, of course, and that's a fair option. Not my first go-to this go around. Which is funny because I really like this. If it's the exact same shade as what we saw on the 3 Plus, I think it's great. But in the real life, look over here, it does appear that it just doesn't pop as much for me. I think the red looks better. Probably the best option to get if you're into modding these handhelds. And I know you might be, like maybe you want a green shell, maybe you want a yellow shell. Well, if you get this crystal clear model, you could send it to a community modder. You could get the Ritmore Dye yourself. I can link some of this in the description, as well as a helpful video on how to dye these. Because this one you can make whatever color you want with the right amount of effort and time, or having someone do it for you. So if you're really pining to get jungle green, get a crystal. Dye it yourself, have somebody dye it. Ah, yes. And now they have a carrying case available. So this is $10. I love these form-fitted cases. Here's one for the 2S right there. Another thing I'd recommend is you go to accessories and you go to grip. For $15, you can get a black grip or a transparent grip, but these are high quality. They're very matte feeling. So here it is with the flip. This is one that really is helpful to have since you have that clamshell design. It can really help with the comfortability of these things. Not a necessary one maybe for the candy bar, but for many people it is, and so I would consider that. And if you're looking for more information, you can always go to our subreddit at r/Retroid. I know we're retro handhelds, but we do happen to also manage some of these subreddits. So we have a big mega thread showing a breakdown of not only the specs, where to get the parts, it lets you know the expected ship dates. Follow Retroid's Twitter account if you do want the fastest information, and also follow us, Retro Handhelds, because we get information out pretty darn fast too. And there's other great content creators in the scene who, of course, are making videos like Retro Gamecore, our friend Joey. And do remember, if this wasn't enough Retroid Pocket 4 information, to go ahead and check out both our prior First Thoughts video, which we have on our channel, and I'll link below, and also our Q&A with Retroid themselves. So we asked them a bunch of questions, and it was fun sitting down to ask about this handheld, and we got to talk to Chris, their social media manager. Once you buy this, you might be wondering about after support. Okay, well, you can email sales@goretroid.com. You can also talk to their live chat on their website, or you can go in their Discord server, which we will also link below, or our Discord server, where other members are always willing to be helpful, and in Retroid's Discord server, their staff can help out as well. So you might be wondering, what am I gonna get? Well, I can tell you straight away, I'm only gonna get the Pro. I'm not gonna get the D900. The Pro having twice the RAM is gonna be really essential, if you wanna enjoy Switch games, if you want to get the most out of this. Having 8 GB of RAM, especially for the higher end systems, PS2, Switch, Vita, is going really to be the most important thing. It is $50 more though, so do consider that, but your video out options are better. On both of these, remember, you get analog L2 and R2 and Hall sticks. So you can't go wrong there, but having twice the RAM is just worth it to me. Not only that, but you get a faster chipset. You're gonna play more games, and if you're already investing that much money, it seems like get the best of the best. But if you are budget conscious, if you just got a 3 Plus, for instance, that you have on the way, Retroid's good about you canceling your order so you can order the 4, and you don't want to spend more, well, get the 4. It's gonna be around the same price as the 3 Plus, and it's gonna get you way more performance, and both of these are going to be awesome. You're wondering, which Retroid Pocket do you get? Well, that's up to you. Which one calls to you? First of all, which colorway do you like the best? For me, I think I'm pretty sold on the watermelon. Pro, mind you. But that's gonna be $199 plus shipping, so I expect this, for me living in Oregon, in the US here, it's gonna be around probably $230 total if I went DHL. Around 215 or so total if I went with 4PX. So it might be even more than that with DHL. I'm gonna do that, and I'll have content out for you to enjoy, to see what is this like in person as soon as I can. And one last thing, if you're curious about shipping times, Retroid on their website here has something called a delivery dashboard. It's right up here at the top, and you can see what model they're shipping when, and then different things to note depending on where you live in the world. So we highly recommend following the shipping dashboard and the RP4 mega thread on r/Retroid subreddit. So yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna get the Watermelon RP4 Pro. I hope you enjoy whichever one you choose to get, or if you choose to get something else, let me know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video production if this was at all helpful to you. Love to hear your thoughts all the time. And come talk to us in our Discord too. We'll be chattering away today about this Retroid for today and for always. And until the next one, take care of your handhelds, everybody, and take care of each other.